Hey, my name is JoMerra, JoJo if you know me like that, and painting is my artistic domain.
Hey, Miss Watson.
Y'all so.
What's up, JoJo? How you feeling?
You know, I was literally just saying that this past week with Texas going from looking like the apocalypse to like back to normal in the span of a few days, that it was really crazy, the timing of it, because I was hitting a wall. Like the pandemic and like Zoom and getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day and like trying to full-time artist, trying to full-time job, trying to full-time life. Like it was just
Stress. I'm on day stress. So we have table organization now. Shout out to Dom for my like funky table numbers. They are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on each table. The phone zone. Because I just feel like it's fair and it's a good compromise. Like, and technically we are allowed to like take them and send them to the principal's office and then they have to pay to get them back. I'm like, let's just alleviate that whole issue. They have to pay. I don't know. I don't know. It might be something like $0.25 or $1. Like just a hassle to go do it because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But whatever, I'm like, let's just alleviate that whole issue. Just put it right there. You got eyes on it the whole time. Just put it right there, and you'll be able to stop and look at it during our little brain breaks. Because I'm not about to talk for an hour and a half straight every day. So there will be time for us to just. But yeah, supply cart. They got their little pencil sharpeners in here, so that nobody needs to get up to show they fit. And they're gonna use dry erase boards a lot, which are over there. So there's expo markers in there. That's that. We got my projector on deck. We got my Elmo on deck. So
you know, we making it work, adding the love into this classroom. I'm up here adding some Mod Podge to these lovely cabinets because the kids are gonna like these cabinets, okay? This is the central part. They better appreciate
the cabinets.
Look.
I pretty much let my kids know from day one, like, we in a penny. Like, if I'm struggling, if your teachers are struggling, and we have fully developed adult brains, we have gone through university, so we kind of understand stress and how to handle ourselves in high stress situations, and we have all the skills available to us to be able to operate under pressure. Y'all teenagers, you know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all got to deal with all this on top of certain stuff that teenagers really shouldn't even be having to deal with.
you know, because it's gonna come. It is. Them kids are just mad, and you know, they having a hard day. Maybe it's okay. Right, and they're gonna know that on the first day. Like, we all have good days, we all have bad days. Y'all are allowed to be human. All you gotta let me know is, Ms. Watson, I've had a horrible morning. School is the last thing on my mind right now. Thank you for communicating that with me. I'm not going to bother you right now because you're allowed to be human and you're allowed to process things. But if you just want to be belligerent and just spaz, and we'll just kind of ask, okay, did I do anything to you personally for you to be interacting with me like this? No, Miss Watson, it ain't got nothing to do with you. Okay, so don't take it out on me. Like, let's talk about what's actually going on. And get this situation resolved, because I can't help you if I don't know.
So, like, as long as you turn in something, like, I'm willing to work with you, you know. And I mean, not all the teachers share that sentiment, and that's fine, but I try to give them the space as often as possible to, like, let me know what's going on. Like, you can overshare, undershare. I'm gonna leave how much you share up to you, but like, I'm human, you human. We have our days. Like, I get it that sometimes it's a lot going on. Some of them definitely do. We use a website called Pear Deck, and it makes like slideshows and stuff interactive, so you can essentially put activities on the screen for them to do, and the kids can do it, and you can kind of like monitor it. So
yes. And then we have About Miss Watson. We got the alma mater on there. I'm a painter. I don't know why this ice cream appears to have blood on it, but I really like ice cream. I like sweets, so that's my representation of sweets. Okay. Aladdin is my favorite Disney movie, so we got to get the Taj Mahal in there, and that's one of the places to visit on my bucket list. I really want to go to India. Have to see that particular monument, and I know flights to India are like super long, so when I do it, I gotta be flying first class. Like, that's really not an option. Maybe Dubai for my honeymoon. Should I ever be crazy enough to take a husband? We'll see. But and then I must throw Avatar on there, because what Avatar is like. So then I'm gonna show them a couple pictures. of my work, because you know students, they want to see your artwork. So I am a painter of women. Primarily my subject matter, I want to say since I did my whole exploratory stage in college, has been portraiture primarily, but black women specifically, just because, I mean, let's be plain. But as far as the subjects, you know, kind of like what my art is saying at any particular time, I watched a video recently where an artist described kind of finding your rhythm or finding your path as an artist is like picking up thread and like following the thread until maybe it runs out and you're like, oh, okay, that one's done, so let me pick up another one since now I'm over here by this thread and kind of see where that one leads. So I'm constantly weaving in and out of series and, you know, kind of trying to narrow down exactly what I want to say at any given time. But it's portraits and it's portraiture, and that's mostly because, I mean, I'm a people person. And on the first day, they have to do this portrait without any help from me. Just to see, we got to show where they start, and then close to the end of the year, they're going to do it again, and then they get to see, like, things happen in stages, guys. I'm an empath. I'm definitely interested in people's stories or kind of inner thoughts, emotions, feelings, things like that. So I feel like there's an endless amount of stories to tell about people, and images are a very personal way to do that. Words are a good way, of course, but I think images, just because we have like different associations with kind of visual things. Again, color of the couch at your grandma's house, that one room that you love to be in school, like, you know, like just little visual cues, things like that can bring you certain memories, certain comforts. So I'm trying to be intentional about how I'm like using images to contribute to whatever dialogue I feel like commenting on at that particular time, because it changes. It definitely changes. But yeah, so we're going to have a little debate. Well, it's not a debate, but a conversation about, you know, what's art, what classifies as art, how do we determine whether or not something is art, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll have a graphic organizer that has like space to write the definition of each thing, and then a box space for them to draw an example of each thing, so that they kind of like, you know, making it make sense. Form, the difference between shape and form. Shape is 2D, form is 3D. Color. In terms of like actual specific art lessons, it's kind of interesting because right now we're really focused on like the meanings and the messages that art can send, and kind of like teaching them their elements and principles so that they understand that, you know, colors have certain associations, and the way that artists makes marks that can kind of give you an idea that certain lines are energetic, some are more peaceful, like things like that. So really kind of teaching them how to draw meaning from and give meaning to their own artwork. I can just show them what I'm doing, because this board is so inconvenient. Like, there's no demoing that's going to be happening on that board, because that person not going to be able to see what I'm doing. And I just think that this is, I don't draw with expo markers, so like that's not helping me show you how to use an art tool unless you can actually see what I'm doing.
I think elbows are so fascinating for us because we didn't have it.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
remember when teachers used to lug around them like projectors, and they used to have like write with expo marker on the clear transparent slides.
So like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in high school, there's a lot of information in high school that you're going to absorb and you're probably not going to remember it. But there are quite a few artistic references. Art is everywhere around you, visual references, like understanding how to read images, like that's something that you're going to do. Seeming as though y'all are always on what, Instagram, like your whole world is filled with media. So like you might as well get good at understanding how to read images and messages and media, because that's literally all y'all do. But yes, those are the main things that they need to know is y'all gotta communicate with me. Y'all ain't grown, but y'all almost grown, so you need to start learning how to be responsible. Speak kindly to each other. I don't care about perfect, I care about progress. And throw your trash in the trash can. You gonna hear it all day. we not gonna.
Hashtag not your maid.
Not your maid. Trash goes in the trash can. We're not doing it. I'm not cleaning up after nobody. I got into education. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm a water sign, and like for this, my astrology people, if you're not, oh well, you just gonna have to hear it. But us being adaptable, I think, is a very core trait. And people, I feel like I get questions often like, oh, like, did you always know that you wanted to be an artist? And I'm like, I just always knew I loved art. So I made life decisions that revolved around that fact. like art is not old, dead, ancient people that we ain't never gonna see again. And you know what I'm saying? Like, art is contemporary. People are making art right now. There are living artists who make a very decent living off of the art that they create. So like, wanting to, yes, I want y'all to know the name of like historical artists, obviously, but I also do want to put y'all on to living, working artists. I show them artists who live and work in Texas, who are like, I'm teaching primarily Hispanic population, so definitely putting them on to a lot of like Hispanic artists, because I mean, be culturally responsive when you're teaching. Obviously, they're going to be more interested in the work of people that look like them and, you know, have the same culture as them. So definitely think knowing and reminding them that art is with you and it's here and it's possible, and I want you to engage with it and know that other people engage with it and know who they are. Like, think about any high school teacher that wasn't like stupid mean, like it wasn't super mean or wasn't like just overly eccentric. If you remember the real dramatic ones, you because they just do stuff that's like, yo, like, you remember the super mean ones because you like, oh my god, I can't wait to get up out of here and get away from you. And you remember the teachers that made you feel like they cared about you. Schools are some of the only places where certain kids get warm food. Schools are some of the only places where kids might feel safe for 8 hours a day. Maybe their home environment is just trash, and so like them walls where they see teachers and desks and classrooms is the most calm and relaxed that they are. Schools are, you know, like resources for kids as far as counselors, college, military, career, like you just outlets, creative outlets, sports, art, music, band, like giving kids, you know what I'm saying, the opportunity to do different things, indulge in different things. So like, to just take all of that away from them, and especially high school, because that just has such a social component to it. Humans are social beings, we know that, but like high school especially, you know what I'm saying, like that's that forming friends, and it's literally the psychological stage where you're like finding your identity, and kind of like your peer group becomes extremely important to you. So like, you come into high school on Zoom, you know what I'm saying, like just I constantly think about the kids' perspective in conjunction with like the teacher's perspective, just because obviously as teachers we kind of got a lot going on the back end, trying to overcompensate for now all of these things that are stacked against us due to the fact that we cannot see our kids on a regular basis. I think that teaching effectively and fostering relationships with your students that actually lead to real connection and real learning, because I don't think retaining information long enough to pass a test is learning, but like carrying lessons with you that you can use and apply throughout the rest of your life. In order to do that effectively, especially with a population of teenagers, yes, it is an art form, because your creativity has to be at an all-time high, because you can't reach all of them the same way.